Hi, everybody. Welcome to the December 15th, 2017 edition of Colorado Inside Out Postgame, a special web-exclusive production here on Channel 12. I'm Dominic Dezzutti. Let's get a quick take on the Denver police raiding several licensed marijuana shops this week, leading to the closing of Sweetleaf locations, the suspension of its medical, retail, and grow operations licenses. Meanwhile, Denver received its first application for a social pot club this week. The Coffee Joint, clever name, is set to open in a few weeks southwest of downtown and has the support of its surrounding neighborhood association. Patty Calhoun from Westward, there is no better pot expert that we can find in Denver, and we just happen to have her right here at the table. Your take on the many issues this week around marijuana.
And who knew that at this point in my career I would become the pot expert? So Colorado has had a lot of success. I mean, there have been relatively few problems, very few scandals involved with legalized marijuana here. Sweetleaf seems to, there have been 12 arrests at least so far. Sweetleaf seems to have become a victim of trying to deal with its Florida investors and get the return they wanted by doing something called looping and breaking the law in their sales, and they have been shut down, and they were shut down fast. As soon as the raid happened, Denver pulled all its licenses. There are 10 locations and they're gone, or they're closed for now. Who knows if they'll come back. So as soon as they found out there were bad characters, they had handled it. The social consumption thing, it's about time. If you're going to legalize recreational marijuana, there have to be places people can partake.
David Kopel from the Independence Institute and DU Law School. Can we expect the Independence Institute to look for a pot social club license anytime soon?
No, we're currently focused on consuming Coors beer, which we're very good at. It shows how severely regulated the marijuana industry is. I mean, they are accused of, never been convicted of anything, accused of selling more than 1 ounce per day per customer, and just based on that, you know, they've been shut down, and you know they're eventually going to get a hearing, but it's sentence first and trial afterwards. So it's a very tough system. For the social clubs, I think it's proceeding the way it should, which is being located in as the law requires, in a neighborhood where it has community support. You know, my dad was an activist with what was called the Park Hill Action Committee back in the early 1960s, and one of the things they did was oppose tavern licenses because in Park Hill they didn't want more bars coming into their neighborhood. And you know, it's now that Action Committee is now Greater Park Hill, still very large and an effective part of that community. So we should only have these kind of clubs in places where the neighborhood wants them.
Eric Sonneman, political analyst. Do you think folks, pro-marijuana folks that we've seen run the campaigns, a variety of initiatives, look at a week like this and say, look, the system's working?
Probably so. I mean, you introduced Patty as no one in town who is better able and more qualified to talk about these topics, and I'm probably the other pole in that, and no one least able, and at some levels not always all that interested, but it is a fact of life in Colorado these days, and a major part not only of our economy but of our social fabric. I agree with David's point largely that this was an enforcement action, and I'm glad to know that the regulators and the enforcers are taking it seriously, and I hope that portends other serious enforcement to the extent there are other serious violations. In terms of the social club, it is in, as I understand, it's just south of the football stadium over in that quasi-industrial neighborhood. They got the neighborhood association to sign on and agree to it, which is a requirement of it, so more power to them.
Penn Tate, a longtime state lawmaker and an attorney with QTech Rock. Whether it's the closings that we've seen from Sweetleaf, was that too fierce of an action, as David related to? Is it the punishment before the hearing, or the right call because of the nature of this industry right now?
You know, it's probably the right call, but it's the right call because we have a regulatory structure. Sweetleaf and all of the other operators know what the regulatory structure is, and they know that if there is the suspicion that you're violating the law in terms of your sales and activities, that you're subject to immediate suspension and temporary shutdown while the hearing moves forward. And so, you know, if you're going to skirt the rules or play it close, you run this risk, and they played it close, it sounds like. They're going to be shut down. There'll be a hearing, and we'll find out what actually went on. But the benefit is we have a structure where it's legal in the state, we have a regulatory framework, and it works. and it worked in this case. And in the instance of the consumption shop, you know, the La Alma Lincoln Park Neighborhood Association signed off on it and said they welcomed the opportunity. It is interesting to note that this place will not allow smoking. It'll be vaping and I think just edibles for right now. So, and again, they played by the rules, they followed the requirements, and they're going to be approved, and it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
That's all the time we have for Colorado Inside Out postgame. Leave us a comment, tell us what you think. For everyone here at CPT12.org, I'm Dominic Dezzutti. Thanks for watching.